people who say, well, I would like to have done so and so and so. So, well, you could have done it. So, well, I couldn't get out of here. Man, the bus runs every day.
Hello, cinema enthusiasts. Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman is Hollywood's unshakable fortress of wisdom, elegance, and patience. We have always known him for his courtesy, but never forget one thing. Freeman's patience is not infinite. He doesn't shout. He doesn't gossip. He simply draws a quiet line, and once you cross it, you are erased from his world forever. Today, at the age of 88, Freeman reveals 5 names he truly hated. People who, throughout his 50-year career, committed what he considers an assault on the honor of acting itself. This list includes global superstars, former friends, and directors, but especially the name ranked number 5. You won't believe the massive ideological war Freeman waged over race and identity, or the 20 years of icy silence that followed. Before we move on to the actors, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share your thoughts in the comments. Enjoy watching. Number 1. Jim Carrey, Chaos Assassinating Discipline. At the top of the list is Jim Carrey, whom Morgan Freeman described as talented but deeply selfish. When these two collided on the set of Bruce Almighty, Freeman's discipline clashed violently with Carrey's uncontrollable chaos. For Freeman, acting is about weight and responsibility. For Carrey, everything revolved around himself. Carrey constantly improvised on set, changed lines, and sabotaged the dignified atmosphere Freeman had meticulously prepared. At one point, before a scene, Freeman stopped the shoot entirely due to Carrey's endless jokes and exaggerated behavior. The breaking point came when Freeman let out a deep sigh in front of the entire crew, looked Carrey straight in the eyes, and delivered this ice-cold line. "Jim, we're trying to tell a story here, not watch your circus act. If you want to act, you need to learn how to listen." Carrey tried to brush it off as a joke, but Freeman never warmed to him again. In a later interview, Freeman sealed the door forever by saying, "Being talented doesn't mean you know how to listen." Result: to Morgan Freeman, Jim Carrey was not a professional partner, but a storm that disrupted the rhythm of the set. Freeman saw Carrey's excessive energy as a direct insult to the dignity of the profession and made it clear he would never work with him again. Number 2. Matt Damon, The Arrogance of a Young Ego. In second place is Matt Damon, someone Freeman viewed as casting a shadow over Nelson Mandela's legacy. On the set of Invictus, Freeman could not tolerate Damon using his success as a tool of superiority. Damon behaved like a rising star, talked down to the crew, and dismissed Freeman's experience as old Hollywood. Tensions peaked when Damon tried to give Freeman advice about his own character before a scene. The defining moment came in an interview when Freeman delivered this cutting remark. "I waited so long for that young man's ego to match the weight of Nelson Mandela. My beard nearly grew out." Though Freeman said it with a smile, the icy disappointment in his eyes said everything. To Freeman, Damon had sacrificed humility, the core virtue of a true actor, to ambition. Result: Freeman described his relationship with Damon as a handshake followed by eternal silence. For Freeman, Damon was a disappointment whose talent lagged behind his character, earning him a permanent place on the blacklist under the label "Never to be Trusted." Number 3. Zach Braff, Direction Without Gravity. Third on the list is Zach Braff, whom Freeman regarded as not a director, but a showman. Braff's undisciplined, overly indie style clashed head-on with Freeman's old-school work ethic. Braff constantly treated everything like a joke and tried to film scenes in a deliberately unserious atmosphere. Things exploded when Braff asked Freeman to perform the same scene 12 different times with increasingly ridiculous energy. The climax came during a press conference. As Braff praised the fun atmosphere on set, Freeman interrupted him with an icy tone. "I only joined this project because the checks cleared on time." That single sentence was a devastating blow to Braff's professionalism. Freeman considered Braff's presence in the director's chair a waste of time and never even greeted him again. Result: to Freeman, Zach Braff represented style without character. He saw Braff's unseriousness as an insult to his career and removed him from his life with surgical precision. Number 4. Kevin Spacey, the most personal betrayal. Fourth on the list is Kevin Spacey, someone Freeman once called a friend, only to later describe as a monster. For Freeman, this reckoning was not just professional, it was deeply personal. The two had shared circles and mutual respect for years. But when the horrifying allegations against Spacey surfaced in 2017, Freeman's response was silent and brutal. He canceled all shared projects and planned theater productions with a single signature. The defining moment came when Freeman was asked about Spacey in an interview. His response was chilling. "There are things you can never come back from. In my world, trust breaks once, and no one can put those pieces back together." Freeman believed Spacey had not only destroyed his career, but poisoned their human bond. To Freeman, Spacey was no longer a friend. He was a stain that had to be erased. Result: Morgan Freeman never mentioned Kevin Spacey's name again. "Trust is built slowly and lost in a second," Freeman said, sealing Spacey permanently into the unforgivable section of his blacklist. Number 5. Spike Lee, a 20-year ideological war. And now we come to the most shocking name on the list. The director Morgan Freeman hasn't spoken a single word to in over 20 years, Spike Lee. This conflict was different from the others. Spike Lee didn't just attack Freeman professionally. He attacked his identity and worldview, especially his stance on race. The conflict began in the early 2000s, when Spike Lee accused Freeman of denying his race and betraying the cause by accepting roles anyone could play. Lee went so far as to label Freeman a tamed black man within the Hollywood system. The breaking point came in Freeman's now famous 2005 interview, where he fired back with his strongest response. "I don't want Black History Month. If you want to end racism, stop talking about it." Lee called this denial and branded Freeman a traitor. From that moment on, the two legends never appeared together at award ceremonies and never collaborated again. Every time Freeman heard Spike Lee's name, his expression hardened. He ultimately branded Lee as a manipulator who imprisons people with labels. Result: to Morgan Freeman, Spike Lee was nothing more than a divider fueled by hatred. Freeman viewed Lee's attacks as character assassination and refused to break the 20-year silence. Spike Lee went down in history as the most ideological and personal enemy on Freeman's blacklist. At 88, Morgan Freeman taught us this: a man's greatness is measured by the firmness of the boundaries he draws. Carrie's chaos, Damon's arrogance, Braff's unseriousness, Spacey's betrayal, Spike Lee's ideological assault. Freeman quietly wrote all these names onto his blacklist because he believes that where there is no respect, not even the voice of God can be heard. What do you think? Was Morgan Freeman right in his criticism of Spike Lee? Or does Freeman represent the most honorable stance in Hollywood? Let's meet in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to explore the hidden world of legends. See you in the next video.